Hi, welcome to New Code channel. Today we are going to talk about a very important skill that has the potential to accelerate your career. It also helps you build a sanity in your life while you're working. I know there are a lot of issues that happen at work and that can affect our well-being and relationships as well. So this skill is going to take care of that. So let's get started and know what I'm talking about. Has it ever happened to you in your career that you go to office and everywhere unnecessarily you're just getting negative feedback, or there's this sudden increase in escalations and you really think that it's unnecessary? Sometimes the client is just dissatisfied without any potential reason. It could be that every time you initiate something and the decision making is unnecessarily delayed. Can you connect with, those long, inefficient meetings where people just keep fighting or arguing, but there is no result after hours long of discussions? Sometimes you feel that there is so much of politics out there, and you feel that your morale or your team's morale is going down. Um, or your business is reducing or is getting stagnant. Sometimes it happens that you feel that there is no personal growth. There is no recognition to all that you are putting in. You're putting in much more than you are getting. So if any of this holds true to you, then it is a possibility, and you need to remember this, that only your individual hard work is not enough to grow and be successful in a matrix organization. And hence, what the skill we are talking about is about how do you maneuver in the organization's metrics, the ecosystem where you have so many things going on. Everybody is interconnected. If you look at this figure, everybody is interconnected, and it becomes at times, very difficult. I can do my work, that's easy, but then how do I influence others? How do I work with others? That maneuvering into the system, who's the right person, becomes very tough. And that's where we start perceiving that organization has a lot of negativity, the organization has bad culture, or there's a lot of politics going around. However, let me tell you this, after 20 years of my career, where I've spent time in Accenture, GE, companies like Dell, EMC, these are large organizations. What I have learned is one skill that could bridge all these challenges. And that skill is called stakeholder management. And we are going to learn what is it today. Now tell me, so if we look at it, there are four key ingredients. If you look at it, there is one which is, we start with identifying who the stakeholders are. What are they? How do we identify for a particular task, job, or role that we are doing? Are we identifying the right people? So I will be telling you about the tricks and techniques of how do you really identify. Second is an analysis. That is very important. Different strokes, different folks. How are they? What is their interest level? And a lot of interesting tools and techniques that we will be covering in this series. The third part is planning. Now that I know who my stakeholders are, and now that I have made some initial analysis, what's my plan? What's my go-to plan? What's my execution plan? Now, normally we make plans for ourselves. I am going to do this, and my day looks like, I have to execute these four things. But in our plan, we also at times are required to put this stakeholder engagement. And that's what is the next step, which is how do we keep them engaged? How do we ensure that they are motivated to help us all the time? So these are some of these are four key ingredients of a larger gamut called stakeholder management. Identify, analyze, plan, and engage. Now, today in this video, I'm going to talk about identifying the right stakeholders. So before we jump into that, let's talk about who is a stakeholder. Now think about it. Who is your stakeholder? Is it only your boss or is it only your team? No, the stakeholders is any individual or a group or even organizations, vendors who may get affected or who may affect your project, or who may perceive that they will get affected by any of your decision, activity, or outcome of your project or whatever you are working on. So, look, stakeholders are not that you see just at a peripheral level. There are lot of other things around identification of stakeholders that you need to think about. So let me just give you some cues of how you can make a list of all the stakeholders that can impact your project and who you can impact. So the first one is around the impact. So those who can impact or are impacted by our business. Then there are also stakeholders that bring diverse perspectives to what we are doing. So while they might not be directly related to us or our projects, but they, because they have been there, done that, or maybe because sheer innovation or creative mindset that they have, they can bring in a lot of diverse perspectives. So that's another part of your stakeholders list of your stakeholders. Then the third one is urgency. So stakeholders with a relationship or claim of time sensitive nature. So these are the stakeholders who really need the work to be get done on time, and your deliverables are much more important in terms of time or urgency for them. Then there are stakeholders who are contracted, who might not directly relate themselves to your project, but there is a legitimate claim, contract, or there is some ethics that are involved. Now, just to give you an example, you are working on a business side and there's a project that you're working on, but your stakeholders, you might think that their clients, your teams, your um, uh, boss, but actually maybe an HR team who is ensuring that there is a ethical way of doing things. They are also your stakeholders. The learning team, the support functions, finance team, now all of them are invested in your success. So then we move on to the interest levels. So those who are interested in your success, in our success, and whose well-being is of interest to us. So sometimes it's both ways, but what is the interest in our project for that person? And then the other aspect that you can think about when we talk about stakeholders is influence. Those who can influence the way we operate. Their decisions matter. Their guidance matter. And if they say no, and if their interest levels is no, our project or whatever we are working on goes for a toss. So these are different dimensions in which you can understand who is a stakeholder, anyone who has a stake at any level in your project. Now let's move on and see uh, who are your stakeholders. So think about all the stakeholders. Let's draw it out in your notepad. Put the names. Think about upward. So for example, the senior managers, the people who are invested in your project, who are going to get impacted, but management side. um, think about downward, which means your team members who are directly working with you. Think about outward. So outward means two things. That implies people who are outside your specific business unit or team. So for example, if you're working in the ops team, and there's another IT sector, IT team or technology team, or some marketing team, all of these are different business units, but all of you are interconnected. So this is your outward team within the organization. Another aspect in outward team you can also look at is the vendors, people outside your organization who are impacted, the banks, the vendors that you work with. Think of those stakeholders that are inside or outside your organization, but not within your immediate scope of things. And then you also look at sideward, which means your peers, your counterparts, your people who are at your level working on the same things. That becomes very important. If you started a project which your peer is already working on, you know what you're getting into. So it's important that you treat them as your stakeholders and get connected. So write down all the names of these stakeholders. That's your task number one. And keep following this series so that you learn more about stakeholder management. Lot of interesting stuff coming up. So what is coming up next is, how do you analyze your stakeholders? Now that you have the list, what are the different ways in which you analyze them? And that's pretty interesting. So keep following. Thank you. And please don't forget to subscribe our channel to learn more about this subject. Thank you. Bye-bye.